Quit your doom scrolling. Quit your doom scrolling and make something. Go make something. That's the message. That's it. That's all I got. So we're just gonna take it from here and start working on this painting. I felt like I needed the message, and sometimes when I think of a message that I should use for myself, I try to share it for someone else that might needs it. Right? I can't be the only person on the planet that would love for someone to be like, "Yo, quit your doom scrolling and go paint or something." But I guess right now is also a big game. Dodgers are playing, and hopefully I get some updates on that along with this painting session. It's either going to be a very good game or very bad game. It might even be a very good game that ends very badly, or whatever. But painting is greater than doom scrolling. Omizu with the wisdom. Omizu with the wisdom. The wisdom of the ages. So I need a couple things right now. Need a couple things from myself is to get the width of this stuff settled. So the width of the head should be right there. That's actually not bad. So the width of the head, go like just to the edge of the shoulder to the elbow. So the width of the head to the edge of the shoulder to the edge of the elbow, which I think the elbow is even a little bit far out, but that's okay. What we got to do is we got to paint this hand a little bit bigger. So we're going to give our characters slightly bigger hands. What's up, Omizu? How's it going? Did you get the stream today? I actually did not have time to check this morning to see if you were streaming. This hand needs to be much bigger. Hand needs to be like that. Just gonna paint it in. Paint in this hand here. This thumb's gonna come across like so. This hand just needs more width. Does that hand looks a little bigger now. Try and go like this, go around here, go just slightly past the shoulders. It should still be above the nose here, so we're going to come around. This painting's turning out to be interesting. Yo, Mizu has an art fair. All right. Oh, Mizu's got the art fair. He's the artist of the hour. What's the art fair? Oh yeah, the rock show, right? You got the rock show. This thing should be about 3 heads. So we're gonna go 1, 2, and then 3. So it's a little further than 3 heads. This elbow should end just below the nose, which that seems to be okay. This hand should actually reach quite close to the body here, right? Like over here. Music with the art show. Let's plug the art show. What's the art show about? Who's in it? I don't see updates from you on your Instagram and or your Instagram and stuff. So, you know, you gotta plug these things. Plug them when you can. Pretty much a straight shot with the pinky here. That hand is starting to look a normal size, and then right now I gotta, let's figure out this section right here. Now let's figure out this head right here. Yeah, pick up a rock, fly in, pick up a rock. You never know. You never know what can happen. All right, so this is pretty high up. We're gonna bring this side down a little bit. Bring this side of the arm down. Go just past the hair here. Can get a general idea of the whole picture here. So this is definitely going to start right around where the leg goes. Let's see how we can modify her body a bit. All right, and here we go. That's my favorite word for live streaming. Here we go. I don't know what to when I don't have something to say that's informative and inspiring and energizing. I say, here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, we're gonna paint this in. We're gonna create another little cloud area. I want to reduce the size of this. Honestly, with this, I feel like I should even spent more time sketching it, but that's all right. Go through this all the time. And I've convinced myself that you know, these modifications are just going to be a part of the work that I do, rather than, you know, taking a full-on sketch right from the beginning. You know, I'm constantly working and reworking to find the right positioning of the elements here. That's just how I'm doing it. Let's see, let's try to find the shape of the arm. This arm is just, let me see, this is gonna go the length of the head here. Let's go length of the head. That arm, that arm. So length of the head should only be about two arm lengths. So one and then two. This arm should end right around here. What color is this? It's a really challenging arm figure to do. Let's see if we can modify around here. So we're gonna cover this arm up. This arm length should probably be about that arm length. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Let's see, from the shoulder to the end of the arm, let me think. Shoulder to the end of the arm. It's going to be much shorter. So it should be over here. All right. Almost there. Almost there with like the basic, our basic structure of this. Making just modifications to make, you know, some of the body elements feel better, more proportional, more accurate. And then we'll get into like the main juice of painting and everything. And let's see how we do this. So this is going to be scrunched. It's going to come around forward. figures are so complex. He never chose an easy pose for his figures. This guy. So yes, this is a study, by the way, for those of you wondering. This is a study that I'm doing. And let's grab some of the shadow here. I'm gonna go right underneath the arm right here and just create some shadow coming down from her. And let's see how we can shape our body a bit better. So her body is going to come right around here. I'm just going to do a subtle little area. Should be like a straight thing from his fingers. That's starting to feel a little bit better. Some of the proportions are coming around. Let's go soften the area around the back of her neck here. So I want to soften that, make that seem a bit more reduced. Let's grab some highlights to go along the top of it. Now, also, if you want to shorten the amount of time that it takes you to do a painting like this, all you really need to do is just prepare the sketch ahead of time. You know, like learn how to do the whole transfer technique. The you know, the what do you call it? The transfer technique. Basically, you transfer the image onto the surface here, and then once you transfer it, it just all becomes really, really basic to paint in between the lines and everything. I'm still trying to figure out, you know, all the shapes and forms, which, you know, by the time you reach this point, you really shouldn't be doing that. But I do, you know, along the way, I do enjoy seeing how this all transforms, which is why I still do it this way. But is it the most efficient, effective method? Not really. There's nothing efficient or effective about this painting method. It takes a lot of extra time without doing a sketch ahead of time, unless, you know, I guess you could spend extra time to do the basic outline and get the proportion ahead of time. But I like to like dive in. That's what I do. So. All right, let's see. Okay, we're gonna go all messages. Let's grab some of our gray. We're gonna take a nice, oh, I love this trick that I'm seeing right here is he took like a really dark cloud to contrast this part of the arm because there's a highlight there. Pookie, what's up? What's going on, Pookie? What are you grunting about? What do you have to complain about, Pookie? We're gonna grab our yellow white. Just trying to focus on keeping these a much more toned back palette than I usually do, or toned down palette, I should say. So focusing on keeping with the gray. It's a little too bright. I need to dull that down a little bit with this gray. Too much value. Just a little bit of white into this, or yellow ochre, I should say. Okay. Okay. Anybody hear my cat? Isn't that the greatest, cutest sound that you've ever heard? My little cat. She's playing. She's playing with a bottle cap. My cat is the best. Better than everybody else's cats. Just kidding. Everybody knows that their cats are the best. Okay, let's see. How do I find more details to incorporate here? Things are looking fairly accurate. Still think this side looks a little bit stubby. Let me see here. it's not bad. So this, exactly where does this leg go? That leg goes to the top of that muscle right above the forearm. So wherever that goes, this goes to the top of the muscle right above the forearm. Yeah, that's about right. So that proportion's okay. This leg and this arm pretty much go up and come around. I think maybe this arm could be a little bit longer. But other than that, let's go. I think we're in a good space right now. We're in a good spot. This is good. We made progress. Grab this gray yellow again. We're gonna do this. That piece is like that, so we're gonna go. Starting to sketch out some of our smaller, our medium details. Got the major big areas done. So now we're just gonna start working smaller and smaller as we get into this. It's very dramatic. Wow. I'm like looking at this and I'm looking back and I'm actually pretty amazed at how much how much drama you can create with just a few colors. I'm just using white, Payne's gray, yellow ochre. So let me just show you my palette instead of talking about it all the time. So I'm using 3 main colors. I got my white, my Payne's gray down there, yellow ochre, and these other colors are here because I was working on something else, but and a little hint of red, but just like the tiniest hint of red / burnt sienna. And it really is amazing how much you can do with just a few colors. Let's go with a darker burnt sienna color. I've decided that I'm gonna give our character here, instead of making him like standard Caucasian gentleman, I'm gonna give him some melanin, and we're going to change up his skin color compared to my study. So the actual study itself, he's a white guy, and I feel like I like to change some things up. So I'm actually going to change this up quite a bit. I'm going to share some of the ideas right now. Some of the main things that we'll be modifying here is this guy's ethnicity, as well as well as the city that they're in. The city that they're going to be in is Los Angeles, so we're actually going to update that. So we got a couple challenges along the way, aka changing up the colors, the color theme. And I've already got his face much darker complexion. So what we're gonna do is we're going to attempt to make that his whole identity as a gentleman of darker complexion. You know what? I might just have to give him exaggerated hand lengths. Just trying to figure out the proportions of everything. It's just not working out for me. I should just exaggerate everything. Why not, right? Who cares? Like, the only people that are gonna care are the people that just, give professional critiques on the internet, aka people that anonymous people on Reddit is what I mean by that. You can be like, oh, your hand proportion is too big. It needs to be different proportion. All right, let's start to add some shadow into our figure here. There's just too much of this pink, and I don't think it's really helping. It's kind of ruining the drama. I do like how these colors are coming about, though. I do really enjoy how these colors all come together. It really is creating a lot of impact with just these few colors. Which, this is fairly a different way than I usually work, because I usually love to use every color on the palette, or every color that I even visibly possibly see, rather than just trying to mix my grays and my most basic colors. So we're just gonna keep using this color as like a glaze, actually. So we're gonna keep using this color, just like a light glaze to get an effect here. Okay, and bring this down. I think some of the proportions are definitely coming together now, which is fantastic, just what we want. Let's keep our paint fairly thin. And there's some areas that I need to modify, like right here. Be a little bit colored up. I really like how this is coming out, though. All these different colors are just really doing a good job of coming together. Like, even if I don't decide to, well, I will decide to, but even if I didn't choose to, you know, get extra figurative with this, totally, you know, make everything look accurate. Even if I didn't do that, I think this would actually be kind of an interesting painting in itself, you know, without all the extra struggle of making everything look just right. Okay, so we're going to come around like this. We're going to come around and bring this. Yo, what's up, Kate? Happy Halloween. It is that time of the year where everybody gets to dress up and be whoever they want to be. Live the dream. Live the dream of being who you want to be. So what do you for Halloween? Did you tell us? I think you said maybe you're gonna be a cat or something. Could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Cat. I feel like Kate would say that she would be a cat. I could totally see that. All right, let's go grab our burnt sienna, yellow ochre color, and get a nice deep brown. Just gonna figure out how we're going to. Oh yeah, this should be lightened a bit. Let's go lighten that. We're gonna come down. Honestly, this finger could be elongated. I'm gonna make that finger that long. I should elongate this finger as well. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give these, when the finger closes, I think, the length of the finger should probably be about the length of the hand. So wherever these fingers are, they're gonna be a little bit longer. I'm gonna give them some extra length here. Just a little bit extra. A little bit can make a big difference. Why does Zombie go to school? To improve his education. Brilliant. What a good joke. What a way to liven up the live stream. Okay, so let's see. This finger needs to be separate a little bit. So we're going to separate this. And then we're going to I'm going to separate it with some white. Let's just go into here. And we're going to go. So we got this like pink yellow. So maybe we could use this flesh tone on. Go to the bottom of the leg here. Let's tighten up her leg here. So we know the skirt's gonna come down like right here. I think the angle of his leg could be dropped just a little bit. But before we do that, let's go ahead and use some of this gray to come right up into here. Create a nice deep shadow. I'm just going to go with a pale white, and we're going to fill in this dress here with, just fill it in. I don't actually know the lore behind what's happening in this painting, but I'm sure it's epic. maybe even biblical. Grab some more of this white. Let's go for some grayer, something grayer, so we could pop into this leg area. We can start to shape her leg. So her leg, let me see. Her leg should be actually, well, now I can see a big mistake that I had. This leg needs to be leaned out a little bit. So let me see, I got this gray right now. Let's see what color. It's a dark gray. If we can bring this up a little bit, I'm going to go bring that up. Trying to estimate how high that should go. Let's see. Get a big view of everything together. Should take up about a third of whatever's here, so at least a third. So this has to come up at least a third here. Come between right here. I'm gonna bring some more of this leg. This leg's gonna go more straight across with a little bit of an angle. So we're gonna bring that like right there, right there, right there, right there. Let's go ahead and shape this foot out, round out this foot. Let's bring this other foot. Let's get this other leg. Actually, you know what? We can add a highlight. Let's see how high that should be. That should be at or above the height of that. So that's good. We're gonna go add a highlight just to mark this foot / heel, and then bring this little highlight around the front of the foot. And then we're gonna come around and we're just gonna add this other foot leg that's peeking out through the back here. So that's gonna come around. Just bring that around. Nice thick layer of paint. Little ankle right here. I'm not too worried about getting the colors too accurate right now. That's the one great thing about oil paint is as long as you have time left, as long as you're painting and it's not like near the end of your life, then you have time to finish and modify a painting. I know that sounds kind of dark as far as just kind of dark to say, but it's true. Oil paint is great because you can let it dry. As long as you have time to let your painting dry, there's so many things so many routes you can go with it. All right, so let's go ahead and find this other white highlight again. I'm gonna go with a white highlight. Let's just see if this is Kate, YouTube. Holiday season. My favorite holiday season is Christmas for sure. 100% it is Christmas. I love a good Christmas season. Let's see, what color is this? Why am I just rolling on the paint? Just rolling on paint. Rolling it on. What does that do? That gives me an opportunity to mix it all in. You know, I can actually bring in some of these highlights into here. This is all pretty shadowed into here, but we can make it happen. So let's see, we're gonna add some highlight right here. Am I gonna keep her hair red? No. But let me see about this foot here. I'm looking at this foot and it still needs a lot of work because the foot, and especially right in here, right where this leg is, I need to modify where this leg is. Let me grab some more of my. I thought I was never gonna get through this. You don't like Christmas? How come, Omizu? What did Santa Claus do to you? So Winton oil color. I thought I was never gonna use this because I was like, it's pretty much black as far as the color goes, right? Like it's such a dark gray that the application of it, the actual application of it, if you're actually gonna use it, you're pretty much using it as a black rather than a gray. But that comes in handy in a lot of ways. And I thought I would never use it, but now is a great time to exercise my use of Payne's Gray. So what I need to do is I need to reduce the, I'm gonna go in here. And let me raise this to eye level. Putting holes in our ceiling with this easel. But we want to raise this to eye level. And I want to reduce the angle of this ankle here. Not too much, just a little bit. Let's see, we're going to come into here, and for part of this leg, I'm going to add some shadow. And actually, let's add some mineral spirits into this. Some mineral spirit. Mineral spirit just helps it to be easier to manage the paint. Yo, golfing, thank you. Yeah, there we go. I just gave him a shout out. Why do people like shout outs? I often wonder that. I often wonder why people like shout outs so much. Like, I get shout outs, like if you're, if you're running like a radio show or like, you've got like I understand shout outs is like a form of promotion. Like if you're like, oh, shout out to the give money to Huzzah Creative organization for supporting this channel, right? Like shout out to them for helping make this channel possible, or shout out to Omizu for continuing his ongoing membership to the Huzzah Creative live channel. Like I get that, as like a form of like thank you, especially if they're a business, right? Like if somebody's running a business and you give them a shout out, it kind of makes sense to me. But I often wonder like why people like shout outs just like randomly, you know? Like random shout outs. All right, let's get our all right, and let's go with our pale white. I'm just gonna go around here. Did I just answer my own question? This time, just got the dinner after, then you get everything. All right, let's see what kind of messages am I getting on my phone. All right, now let's tighten up this guy. Let's tighten up this guy. What I think I could do for him is we can start to add like a nice dark outline for him. And there's going to be some areas where we can start to add some outlines. Let's see, we're going to come around. And let's see, this part of the shoulder. We're going to add, just bring some shadow around. Actually, it should be a little bit lighter here. Lighten this up a little bit. Too dark. So I'm going to come around and we're just going to bring this around the forehead here. Let me find some yellows. Start to throw in for the palms here. Honestly, this song's probably a little bit too far out. But let's go. We're gonna go. Exaggerate this out a little bit. Let's go bring this arm down. I almost forgot it's Halloween. I know I've mentioned it a few times, but I hear all this noise outside. I'm like, why is there so much noise outside? And of course, it's probably because it's Halloween. Let's get this white. We'll start bringing in some highlights onto our face. Oops, too much. And Christopher, well done. Thank you, Christopher. Try to paint afterwards. Thank you, Christopher. I probably had a few Christophers in this live stream, but you're the first one today. So welcome, Christopher. You're the first Christopher of the day. So what the heck is going on here? So the hair comes up This is. I'm probably gonna have to rework the proportions of this guy too. This fella. Let's go like this. Let it come around. Bring this over. Bring this down and around. Let's go like this. Just keep building up this pale yellow color. We're just gonna keep going with that. Paled yellow. Paled gray yellow. Honestly, that seems to be the theme of this character, so it would be shoulders like that. Yeah, his shoulder needs to come down a bit further, so we'll bring this guy. I'm just gonna bring that down to there. And let's see, we're gonna come around. Gonna have a sharp delineation right around there. And let's bring his neck down along with this line here. Bring his neck down along this line. Elongate his head a bit. We should actually add this to the top of the leg, this this bright color here. Make a clear line of separation for our shadow. The side of the quad right there. And same thing for this other side. We're gonna grab this. Just gonna grab this brightly colored color. We're gonna make this extra pale area. Get the knee slightly above the other one. And then we're gonna go nice and bright. I could probably reduce the coloration of this all later, but for now, just getting the basic formula in. So this area is gonna come forward a little bit, and then gonna create a nice white line down to his neckline, pretty much. Just you just gotta remember, just slightly off the center line. This one is kind of looking stubby. I don't really know what to do with it. So I might just have to elongate his rib cage here. It's rotisserie chicken, his latissimus dorsi. Let me see. Let me check these proportions right here. So head. Let's see the chin to the top of the head right now. Yeah, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is an extra long figure when you really think about it. He's like a 10 head figure. So what I'm doing, so there's this trick. There's this trick in art where if you're ever trying to draw a human figure, right? All you got to do is let's just say, you want to draw a body, right? To know the proportions. All you need to do is you need to take the head and then you compare the standard number is 8. So I'm just using a number 8, right? So you take the head and you say, okay, the head is 1. And then chin to nipples is 2. Nipples to to the belly button is 3. Belly button to crotch is 4. crotch to mid thigh is 5. Mid thigh to bottom of knee is 6. Bottom of knee to mid calf is 7, and mid calf to the heel is 8. So it's called the 8-headed figure. And you know you've got your proportions for a human figure right if that's there. But if you have something like this, it's totally off. Because this is like a 10-head figure. He is beyond heroic. Heroic is a 9-headed figure. You know, the how they would basically make a god. A god would basically be painted as 9 heads. Just, you know, in case anybody's wondering. So, like, you know, like Zeus or like what's someone name a male Greek god, like Hercules would be a 9-headed figure. So anything beyond that is like beyond heroic. So what I would need to do in order to address the situation is I think I need to modify this body here. I either need to make the head bigger or make the body smaller. And I think the easier solution is just make the head bigger, but then I got to worry about the proportions of everything else. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, 7.5 heads is like just the standard. Is like that's like eight heads is the ideal. You know, 8 heads is an ideal male figure. Ideal. You know, I'm not trying to sound like a idealism type of guy. Everybody's different, but as far as commercial art is concerned, historically, the 8-headed figure is the accepted standard of like the ideal male figure. 7.5 for women, but besides the point. 8 figures. 7.5 is considered like human. So like if you were to paint a god or like a heroic person next to a regular human, a mere peasant, you would paint them as a 7.5 figure person standing next to an 8-figure person. And it's all proportions too, you know. Because what would happen with the ideal 8, and again, I'm using these words. I know these words like ideal and all that could be very offensive now today to some people, but I'm just talking about commercial art and the standards, right? Standards of commercial art. That's it. I'm not trying to like talk about how people actually look ideally. So 8 figures is, you know, the accepted standard. And what happens is it like stretches the legs out. Like if you were to use 7.5 heads, basically you kind of like shorten the legs and make the character look less heroic. Although 9 figures is heroic. 8 figures is like the ideal, and then 7.5 heads is like just the average human being. That's the idea. But for all intents and purposes, there's no need to get too far into, you know, into all of that. All I know is I need to reduce the width of this guy. Let's see, I got, the head is like 1 length right there. I had the chin. Say his head ends there. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this body is way too long. I need to, let's see, this is 1, 2. Yeah, 2 is like right at the nipple, so. trying to think of how I'm gonna modify this body. So whatever the length to the crotch is, so whatever the length from the leg to the crotch is about how long the next half of the body should be. So let me see. Let me test this theory here. Yeah, that's about right. So whatever this length needs to be is pretty much needs to be like whatever this bent figure is. Let me see. So from the crotch to there and there. Let's go like that. A bit longer than this. So a bit longer than this. Let me see one more time. One. So this is going to be about one. How do I do this? So 1, 2, 1 hole, 1 hole, and I'm guesstimating here, so I go 1 hole, and then to the crotch would be right there to the crotch, so however that much, so whatever that much is right there to the head. I mean, that's almost right. Wow. So why is it? I'm trying to avoid having to redo everything, but let's see. Let's go take this gray here. And what I can do is I can just make this angle deeper. Cover up some of the arm area. I just don't know if I want to go down this whole route of rearranging this whole body yet, but maybe I'm just going to have to for the sake of correct proportions. The head has to go 1 to the chest. So, I mean, head's right there. You see, head's right there. I mean, that's almost kind of accurate to the nipple. If I mark the nipple right there, mark the nipple right there, that's not too bad. So 1, 2, almost. But then getting to the belly button is my next struggle there. So 1 head, chin to nipple, nipple to whatever this chin to that distance is, needs to be about the same to the, I mean, and then to the crotch. Let me do another sketch out of this body here. So we're going to come around, and that should be straight up from, elbow should be like right up from the Adam's apple. So the elbow should be Adam's apple. The head should only be a little bit further out, so whatever, that should really only be like right there. go like this. We're gonna come across, and we're gonna start reducing the size of this body here. I think that's gonna help a lot. Anybody know the? Let's see, what's the score? Dodgers are starting. Oh, it's 6 o'clock right now. All right, let's see. Dodgers game started at 5, I guess. So it's going. Let's try to sketch out the rest of this. I'm gonna move our figure a little bit. So we're gonna go move our figure, and it's gonna come around like this. Not too wide. Shouldn't be too much wider than the length of the leg there. Should come down to right about there. All right, so we're totally changing up our figure. We're totally changing up the shape of our figure here. So I'm just doing a loose sketch out. Hand should just come right around there. And if I keep working this color, let me see. If I keep working the shadow color, go bicep like that, come around. That looks a little better because it matches the length of the length of the let's see, if we're gonna come like this needs to be the head. So wherever head's probably gonna come right around here. We're totally reshaping this guy and might be making a mistake, but it's okay. Oh, you know what else needs to happen is I need to crap. Let's see how we do this. Ideally, you get this on a first try. I want to make the head a little bit higher, so that's the goal. You make the head a little bit higher. Put the nipples up a bit higher as well. Let's see, wherever this angle is, should be the ear. Let's actually just paint this in here. We're gonna find this dark burnt sienna here. I was trying to find a good place for it. So the head should pretty much go like right. The hair should pretty much go like right here. I want to raise the head a little bit. So a nice thin layer. I'm just gonna go like this. Go all the way up the bicep. All right. You know, part of why I do this sometimes is like I love seeing how far I can like fix how far you can take a painting and like mess it up and still be able to fix it. I know that's not like the best way to approach the craft, right? If you're a super perfectionist, it's probably not the best way to do it. Maybe this is a form of perfection. I don't know. You know, this is trying to get it right its own way. We're gonna color in the face a little bit. I'm gonna bring this face in. so we stop getting confused with this section here. I don't want too much confusion. We find need like ultramarine blue to mix with our. This is a Prussian blue. So I need a nice Prussian blue to get a nice dark green. What's up, Dave? How's Dave doing? Oh boy. Did I say what's up to Dave yet? Can't remember. All right, let's figure this out. Doing a total 360, 720 change of. What kind of green is this? Get a little bit more yellow. Try to find more yellow in this. I messed it up on purpose. I would never mess something up on purpose. I'm fixing something on purpose. Just trying to see how far we can push a project and repair it. See, if I wasn't live streaming, what I could do is I could just be like right now, just be like, yeah, you know, this is just how the painting is. Like if I painted in secret and I could just like come out with this painting and tell people without all the repairs, just say, yep, that's how it's supposed to be. But that's the problem with like live streaming. Nothing you ever paint is ever going to be a secret. Unless, you make it such, but fortunately with this one, people are going to know. They're going to know that there were a lot of issues. That's very good, Dave, calling it out like it is. Good for you. Good for you, sir. Calling it as you see it. I feel better once we eliminate the once we get rid of all this excess stuff. Whatever is the remains of this other head right here, this little section right here. How's that looking? Yeah, it's looking covered up, right? Isn't that magical? Just cover up your mistakes. And then obviously right here I got to reduce the size of this arm as well. So we're going to start to blend this section in too. My only regret of this is that I'm going to really miss out on a lot of space right here. There's going to be a lot of space here to fill, but maybe I could figure something else. That seems like, you know, something easy to do to modify. Nothing escapes Dave, though. Dave catches everything. Why is the guy feeling himself up? He's feeling his heart, Omizu. Don't you understand? Can't you see what's happening? It's his heart. He's touching his heart. I had to depict him shook. Let's grab a bigger brush. I've been working with this really small brush up until now, but it is, for what I'm doing, it's not going to work. Which is basically a cover up. If I'm going to do this cover up, I need a nice big brush. I do like the effect of having a smaller brush though. It kind of creates this like brushed effect, but like right here, this needs to curve. And then it just needs to drop dramatically. Just drop dramatically right there. Oh, look at all that paint coming down. That's okay. Bring that back. Now I don't know what to do that area. Let's see if we can wipe it off. Maybe a little bit. Just want to wipe that off a little bit. Just so I can get a better view of what I'm working on. So whatever this happens, this area needs to just drop dramatically. Whatever's happening here. Did I just ruin it? Because now he looks kind of like a rag doll, doesn't he? I mean, I guess that is kind of what happens to the human body when it's dead, though. Just rag dolls. But over here, we're gonna go grab this yellow ochre pale. Make this yellow ochre a bit more pale. Dave with the ideas. You know, Dave, I already said that, like, I already told you that after yesterday, you're in Kate's fiasco banning Michael Wilbur, which was totally unacceptable, that you are on a no trust list. I no longer take advice from old school Dave. It's great that he's found a friend in Kate. That's awesome that you two have found each other as friends. But I can't say that I really trust either of you now. I don't know. I'm skeptical. I just don't think that I could take either of your words for anything serious. So that's that, Dave. That's my true feelings about you, dude. I don't know what else to say. That's it. What do I do about this? I'll just leave it. I will just leave this section of chaos. So this arm, whatever this size is, should pretty much go to the waist, which is, it actually works. But I think the dimension of this, the arm feels a little bit skinny. But anyway, let's keep this going. Just keep pushing through. Eventually you find what you're looking to do. So let's go like this. We're gonna come down. This is the body. Whatever this angle is right here is where the shoulder should go. So the shoulder is going to curve around this spot right here. Let's grab like a nice pale gray. Nice pale gray for the head. The ear should be like right here. That's where the corner is. So this is where the chin needs to go. And like right there. What is going on? Sketch this out. When in doubt, sketch it out. I just made that up. All right, so we're gonna come around, create that shape there, create that shape there. And then on the other side of this, we're gonna bring the shoulder down. So nice round shoulder is gonna come around. It's gonna curve around that edge. That section is gonna create a chin that comes out like right about there. We're going to create the face. So Frankenstein head's going to come right here. Going to widen that, bring this arm out a little bit further. Now let's bring this right from the chin. We're going to come around on the bicep. The bicep, maybe elongate it just a little bit. Where's that bicep in relation to the top of this guy's? Oof. I might just leave it like this. I don't think I can figure this out. I feel like at this point, it's like, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Huh, what should I do, people? Should I just leave it like this and call it the painting? Just call it um, abstracted figuration. Just nothing's right now. Nothing is right. So it's gonna go like this. I think that body could come in a bit. Let's see. Maybe I just need another brush. Nothing's going right. I could bring the shoulder out a bit further, I guess. Maybe. Don't despair. Just keep going. Alright, now it's kind of making more sense, but anyone ask, tell them I did it on purpose to teach us a lesson, 7 heads or something. Let's try some, let's see if we could just maybe bring in some deeper shadows. So if we go around this, go around from this right here. Can I just delete this entire series of live streams and like release this painting as it is and just say, yes, this is my masterpiece. This is art. This floppy body that basically looks like a rag doll. It was going good until I decided to try to change things up. Let's see what I can do. I need to just not give up and quit my crying. Quit my crying. Tears are for babies and adults who have gone through some things. There's a lot wrong with it, so I'm trying to get this figure to. This figure just needs to be just right, and it's not. There's a lot of issues with it, which you probably can't see. I'm trying to navigate the head here. Just figure out how we're going to. It's not long enough. The body just is not long enough. It only needs to extend a little bit past the elbow, and we're good. Just a little bit past the elbow. Above the chin. Hey, hold on, I'm coming.
Hi. Guys eat yet? You hungry? You hungry? Hey.
Hey.
Oh, what a long day.
Yeah.
That's around 11:30. Tim is out there in the driveway. Candies and everything.
That's cool.
Did you eat yet? Have it.
No.
Hi, kitties.
All right.
Kitties, so cute. Oh my god. Hi. Are you
Oh.
fine? You're so starving.
Here we do this.
Oh my god.
What was the last hand? I think the last arm was all the way out here, so we at least made some progress and brought the arm a little bit closer. That's not bad. That's a little better, actually. Once we sketch this out, get this arm, this elbow, and this hand's gonna come like right here. That's the outside though. There we go. And then this will be the inside of the hand. Is that looking? It's looking a little ragdoll. Let's go ahead and try to fill in this space here. There we go. This could totally be a style though. It's called the problem solvingism. It's called incompetence. The style of painting. We're gonna call it incompetence. style of painting shall be called incompetence. Even this shouldn't be that wide. Thanks, Kate. What do you mean I'm getting way ahead of myself? All right, let's try this a little bit. Let's try this again. Yeah. Go for some sketching. So this, when in doubt, just sketch it out. This is going to come around. Claiming style when there's of course there's a style. Everything's a style. Everything you do is a style. I would argue your statement that everything someone does is a style. What I will say is I probably got ahead of myself trying to paint this trying to paint this trying to actually do this painting specifically. But I wouldn't say that that there's no style here. I argue that everything someone does is a style. Yes, I stand by that. Let's see what happens if I use a really dark outline.
Hungry? Okay, just a minute.
So we're gonna come around.
Maggie's up here, but she didn't come by this way, so she didn't see Tim up there with the full-size candy bars.
Maggie's here?
No, she was.
When?
A while ago. She just left.
Oh.
Trying to find trick-or-treating for her kids.
Oh, really? You couldn't find any?
Not much. She said it's not like it used to be.
Nothing's like it used to be.
That is true.
Ooh, Mizu really hitting straight to the gut right now. People claiming that they like the unfinished look are procrastinators. It is the easy cop out. That's why people like it. People love a cop out. It's just
I do.
it's just something you gotta accept.
Yes.
People love cop outs. So
Okay.
that is humanity. That is humanity there. That is humanity at work. People love to be able to cop out.
It's very simple.
People love
Let's come
procrastination,
here. Come on.
copping out.
Come out here and get something to eat.
And that's probably reflected in the art that people enjoy.
So many kitties.
Yes, I'm hungry.
Hey kitties. Hey kitties. What's going on, kitty?
Go see Bonnie. Don't be so scared. Such a scared cat. Still feeling queasy? Pop-Tarts.
Says Kat has such a soothing voice. Does she ever use that voice with me? No, Kat never uses that voice with me. It's never used up with me. It would be wasted. What's up, Bonnie? Hey.
I need to return your sweatshirt. Now I need to.
My cat went. "Argh." Anybody hear that? My cat, anytime she jumps off and lands on something, she goes. "Argh, argh." It's the funniest thing. It's so hilarious. My cat's the best. Got the best cat ever. Ever. All right, I think we are actually almost near a point where we could take a break. Just gotta cover this section up again. Let's go grab our white. Just gonna cover this section up again. Cover this arm. Move this pool of blood. There's so much paint just flinging onto my table. I don't know where it's coming from. How is so much paint getting onto this table right now? All right, let's see. We're almost there with this. We are reaching a point where this is actually kind of feel okay. Let's try just a little bit. Let's push this just a little bit further. This part's just going to be a little bit wider. This neck's going to be a bit bigger. Why does he feel like a rag doll? I just cannot figure this out. Just straight up rag doll figure here.
He's by himself. But, yeah. He doesn't like to fight the trauma. I'm gonna start getting ready.
Okay.
Are you?
Yeah? That's cool. Does Scout like you now? Is he hanging out with you? Scout's usually very shy for some reason. If I could just get this to not feel like just total ragdolled, I can be happy wrapping up tonight.
Have fun tonight. Be safe.
Take care, Bonnie.
For everything.
All right, let's go with a dark brown. Let's try to see if we can do this again. We're gonna try this again. This is the fourth figure transition here. And hopefully, let's check the head dimensions. So head, size of the head to the nipple, that's about right. Nipple to, we're almost there. Nipple to belly button, we've definitely moved it up a little bit. So I think the head's about a good size. It's like proportional too, right? So this head needs to be about the same size as the others. It's about the same size as that one, same size as that one. So as long as the head is about the same size, I think we can be happy about what we've got going on. So this will come down right about here. So nice dark hair. Coming down right about here. And then we're gonna go hair coming around. He's got like a Frankenstein head still right now. We're gonna fix that. Let's see. I can just get him to cooperate just a little bit more. I'm good. It's gonna come down and around. I wanna bring this hairline up just a little bit. Here a bit further, actually, right here. Why is this? Oh yeah, because that looks like a shadow, so that's gonna be a problem. But Mizu pulling out the harsh teacher, harsh art critic teacher. Speaking of which, I have a book that I would actually recommend to Mizu. I've been listening to this book. It's called Hot, Cold, Heavy, Light. Hot, Cold, Heavy, Light. And it's like this one critic, I forget his name, but he's a critic and he has like all these writings on art. And it's pretty interesting. Rather than like an analysis of like art careers, it's more of a it really is some criticism. It starts off like kind of nice and like cutesy and like not very critical, but then it starts to pick up later on in the book. I think we're almost at a good place, except again, this arm still feels really wacky. Still something wrong with this arm. It's got like this weird, just like, looks like it's disjointed, but I think it just needs a little bit of a touch. And I haven't quite figured it out yet, but I think we're moving along. We're better than we were before. We've got some major details established. Some of the major shapes have been improved. So I think we're in a good place. I'm going to take a break. I need to take a break on this painting for now. I know Mizu's like, never take breaks, no breaks. Do you want to be a painter or do you want to be just another average person? Harsh teacher Mizu. I'm totally making stuff up, by the way. I feel like sometimes I say things that imagine other people saying things, and it's kind of like making up words for somebody, which is not a good thing. It's not a good thing to do. So correction, I don't know if Mizu would say that. But just going by the conversation today, Mizu being his tough teacher, being the tough teacher guy, just playing off of that. Let's see, so this needs to come down. How can we get this shape to be just right? This is a really super weird looking carcass. But here we go. You know, I'm getting this much closer to working in the traditional way, which is transferring a sketch onto the canvas and just painting, making my own little coloring book. Because I've spent what, like 6 hours already trying to figure out this design, whereas, you know, I could have spent all that time painting. Could have just spent it painting in between the lines and doing a coloring book, and then at the end of it, everybody's like, "Whoa, cool, dude, you did that." And then I get the validation I want, and then I start my next painting and get some more validation, and then the validation just continues. That's what we all want, right? Is validation for our work. All right, that's it for tonight. We're going to wrap this up right now. And we're going to say Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
And take care. Pookie. Good night.